welcome to Ubuntu channel. We are live on Ubuntu channel. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter. We are live also on YouTube. We are glad that you've joined us tonight. Like always, like every Friday, this is Ubuntu Sports, and we are live on Ubuntu channel. As usual, I am with our resident analyst in Lameck. Lameck, good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much for the platform once again to talk about Zambian football. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Lameck. We sincerely apologize to you, our viewers, for coming this late. This was due to the uh, technical problem that we had, and we are trying by our best that we should bring our guests. Like we've told you that we're supposed to host Isaac Chansa tonight. We're waiting for him, and I'm sure he's going to make it so that we can hear about his career, about his football career. Now, Lameck, uh, we're building up to the AFCON qualifiers. The first game Zambia is going to Ivory Coast. What do you have to say over that?
Yeah, it's a huge game that we have on the plate. And the one thing we should note is that Ivory Coast are the hosts of this tournament. So they are playing without pressure. Even if they finish bottom of the group, they are playing without pressure because for them, the qualifiers will be to try out new players. They already have a team, but they want to try out new players that they can use for the AFCON. But for us, we are playing with a lot of pressure, with a lot of pressure because we have missed the last three AFCONs. This is our chance to get back to AFCON. So we're going to Ivory Coast. You know, it's a tough game. Zambia versus Ivory Coast has always been a tough game. After the AFCON 2012 final, we managed to play them in a friendly that, if I recall well, we lost about 3-1. Yeah, that was somewhere around last year or the year before where we lost the game. So I know Asanovic knows his players. He knows what he has to do to get the best out of his players. It's unfortunate that the friendly against India was cancelled due to the unavailability of majority of the players, but we go into these qualifiers very positive to get positive results.
Lamek, you talked about pressure, and one thing that happened during the week is that Chamanga turned down the call to appear in the national team once again. He said he's done his part, and he's hoping that the people that are there now can carry the mantle. I was expecting maybe to be there in the team just to help these juniors to manage the pressure. What do you think about the the Chamanga issue?
Yeah, for me, I think for Chamanga, he's standing his ground. Chamanga made a decision to take off his boots for the national team. He's no longer stepping on the field for the national team, so he can't feature in any national team games. He's giving chance to the young players. He doesn't want to get involved on the field of play. So his reason for declining the call-up was that the coach did not clearly state as to why and which role he was coming into the team with. You understand? In the earlier article by Faz, we were told that he's coming into the team as part he's available to play, but again, he was being given a backroom staff role. You understand? And then the first president also confirmed that Chamanga had told Faz and everyone involved that he is not available to play. He's not playing. He can only train with the team and also offer guidance to the players, but he's not playing. But he himself felt that his roles were not clearly defined by the coach and people involved. So that's prompting him to decline the call up. He's a
Now,
patriotic
Lamek,
Zambian. He's one person who's always available for the national team.
yeah, he's a patriotic Zambian. However, I'm thinking, did the coach consult before releasing the names?
Yeah, the coach is always in consultation with clubs. Uh, with clubs, due to asking about the players who are available, and him, James Samanga, a consultation was done prior to him being called. But the only problem was that his role was not clearly defined. He was given a call up, yes, but why? In which capacity are you coming into the national team? He himself wants a role not on the field of play to be considered as a player, but to be a mentor and a guider to the players. He may be seated on the bench, but not in in match day kit where you have a player who's sitting on the bench as if he also wants to step on the field of play. You understand? He can join the team, but in a capacity where he's just part of the backroom staff. You understand?
And now, do you think CAF was fair to include the host in these qualifiers? Because one, they've already qualified. Then why should they participate? It's like now risking the uh, the players for the other nation for the other nations. One, Ivory Coast has got nothing to lose. They can use any players. They can injure our players because they've got nothing to lose. They've already qualified. And don't you think there might be some match fixing because they've already qualified? They can decide who they want to qualify.
No, look, when you follow football, critically following football, you see that there's zero tolerance to match fixing and anything related to match fixing. Every association knows FIFA is not going easy on anyone who's caught fixing a match. So every association president knows. And when you look at this AFCON is a prestigious tournament. It's a huge tournament. For Ivory Coast, they are not coming in as giving away points to teams. They are coming in to compete as well because they want to build a stronger team so that they can win the AFCON on home ground. So for them, this is a decision that was made by CAF in consultation with other mother bodies to include host nations in the qualifiers because host nations in the past, host nations would never take part in the qualifiers. For me, what I could have felt, what I felt was if 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 our group was given at least two slots, you understand? Ivory Coast, yes, irrespective of the position they finish, two teams should be picked from our group. You understand? But again, when you look at the how the structure of the tournament has been structured, we now have 24 teams. So adding the groups together, it now supports that we only need one team from our group because the other team is a host nation.
So should Ivory Coast take these qualifiers seriously? Because they've got
They are
nothing to
taking
lose.
it seriously. They are not going easy on these qualifiers. They are taking them seriously. They have players, first team players that they are assured of, like Wilfred Zaha, Max Gradel, who's the captain, and then there are other players who have been competing really, really well in Europe and in the league. But these players have not been given a full platform to play in the national team in competitive games. This is a time to give those players a chance with a hope that should they impress, they'll be they'll be in contention with the senior players for a place at the AFCON. And look, it is every player's dream to play at the AFCON. That is no secret. It's every player's dream to play at the AFCON. And the players, what makes the games even more difficult against Ivory Coast is that should they choose to use the players that are being given a chance, like they are being given a chance to audition their talents in front of the coach and try to impress the coach, every player will be playing to impress the coach. That makes the matches very, very difficult.
So are you confident with the team that has been assembled thus far?
Yeah, I'm very confident with the local players that have been called. Yes, we have one, two names that were missed out and were not picked, but I'm very confident with the players that have come in. We have key performing young players. We also have a blend of players who have got experience, the Spencer Sautus, the Benedict Chepeshis who have already been picked, and Prosper Chiluya, who was with the 2017 under 20 AFCON winning team. It's a well-oiled team. We have Ricky Banda, who's the top scorer of the league. They're giving him a chance for him to prove himself. We also have Enoch Sakala, who has been a key player for Zesco United the second round. We have Joshua Budom Tale, a marvel to watch at Power Dynamos. We have Albert Kangwana from Kafua Celtics. These boys have been marvelous to watch. They are scoring goals for fun. they're giving them a chance to blend with the other players. Should these players, because the coach clearly indicated that these players that he has called, not all the 23 players will make it to the final team, but you understand, but a certain number of players will be picked. A number of players will be picked from that from that number of players that were from the 23. They will join with the other players that are currently in Europe, who are concluding their leagues. We know the EPO is not done. We know the Danish league is not done where Chilufya is, and we know the Swedish league is not done where Emmanuel Banda is, and other leagues. We know Frankie Msonda is ready now to play for the national team. We have Mavika, who's yet to be cleared, but his league has a few more games to play. And once these players are brought in, together with the blend of the local players, we have a good team that can compete. I can't get you. Your mic is switched off.
Yeah, I was saying you've talked about people like Chapeshi and Sautu. These are some of the people that are bringing experience to this national team, and they're in the camp. How big is experience in this tournament at this stage for the national team?
Experience is very, very important. In football, experience is important. You know, where experience comes in game management. You understand? We have players that have been around, that have played a lot of games. They know how to manage games, and one of the critical areas is playing at the back. At the back, we need a lot of experience. We have young players. Frankie Msonda is a young boy. Aime Mavika is a young boy. You understand? And other players that are in the national team are not very senior. They haven't been at the highest level of football. Others have been, yes, they've played in Europe and come back. One of the players, other players are not playing in the Zambian league. They've played in the Zambian league before. They've gone to other countries and all of that. But we have players such as Alan Kapila, who's being called to the national team for the first time. You understand? He has been rock solid for Red Arrows, but these are players that need guidance. This is where players like Chepeshi. Chepeshi has been around for the national team for quite some time now. And no, we can just rip off the experience that he has in helping the team. Even the 2012 team had players who were experienced. We had Chintu Kampamba, who did not play a critical role on the field of play, but he was there to guide the boys, the Sunzus, the Hichani Himondes. He was there to guide them every time, they needed him. Where Joseph Musonda was actively playing, he was there to guide and provide that experience in the team.
Indeed. So we had an interview with Tapeshi just in camp, and if you didn't get that interview, here is a video for you so that you can get what Tapeshi had to say concerning the qualifiers. Okay, it seems the video is not yet ready, Lameck. So first announced the prices for the tickets for the Comoros game, which will be on the 9th of June. Lameck, just take us through. If I want to go to watch this game live at Heroes, how much should I keep for this game?
You know, the cheapest tickets are 50 kwachas. You understand? We have tickets that are selling at 50 kwacha. We have tickets that are selling at 100. We have 200. We have 1,000 VVIP, and ranging in those prices. And for me, there has been a lot of backlash on these ticket prices because people feel that 50 kwacha is too much. Understand? Football is an expensive. When you venture into football, it's an expensive venture to take. Everyone needs to understand. This is the mindset we need to put to our Zambian fans that football is not cheap. It's not cheap to host a football game. Football games that cost local football games in the ZSL or local football games in cups such as the Absa Cup cost somewhere close to 400,000, 300,000 to 400,000 to host the match. You know, it takes care of the securities, the team escorts, the people around, the dignitaries that come, the stadium, and everyone who's involved in that 400,000. And now let's take that to a national team game. You understand? How much does it cost to host such a game? You know, it's a national hero stadium, but it's not a free venue that everyone can run around because it has a management company that needs to maintain that stadium. So the management company has to be paid some sort of money to continue managing that stadium. You understand? And then the association also, these are ways that the association gets to get some income from whatever they are do to sustain them. So we need to continue preaching the message that we need to continue advising the fans to buy tickets. It's important to buy tickets, but because you're not only empowering the club or the national team in general, but you're also paying for that one coach that is guiding us to the 2023 AFCON. Because where does FAS get the money to pay the coach? These are some of the areas where FAS gets their money. Whatever money comes from here can be put up, and we have a good structure to get a good coach. And we have a good coach, so we need to consistently pay him. We wouldn't want to have issues where a coach is not paid for 3 months. Understand? And if we don't buy tickets and we want to get services for free, then we'll have a football collapse because the first will be unable to sustain itself.
All right. Thanks very much, Lameck. So, if you're just joining us, we are watching Ubuntu Sports, and we're talking about Zambia's chances qualifying to the AFCON 2023, and we are going to Ivory Coast for the first game. We'll be playing with Ivory Coast in Ivory Coast, and the second game will be in Lusaka at Hero Stadium against Comoros, and the tickets are out. You can get your ticket at Shoprite. Lameck, I told you that we had an interview with Tapesh during the week, and he's in the camp. Let's watch and hear what he had to say concerning the qualifiers. Okay, is it? Oh, okay. I think the director will give us a signal once the video is ready.
We have started our preparations today, which I think are going on well. For us, it's an honor to be here, like most of the guys. So I think we'll do our best since today is the beginning of the MAO to go. So I think we are ready for the sessions ahead. Well, I think that will push us more hard to work hard, because knowing they have a better side. So I think the preparations for us will matter most in this regard, because the game won't be easy, we know. So I think we have to be focused. Going to Ivory Coast, I think we have to do our very best. They have to, I think, rally behind us. They have to support us. I think the game against Ivory Coast will show the direction for the team in the AFCON. So I think we do our best in Ivory Coast. The team will... the supporters will have that courage to come and support us here at home. So I think the best result will be in Ivory Coast, where we have to do our best for them to come and support us in numbers here. So we have to do our best in Ivory Coast for them to have the courage to come. I think the defense allowing goals is not a good thing. So we have to do our best as defense. The coaches are here. I think they know what to do, knowing that we do allow a lot of goals. So us, the defense, will do our best, and the coaches, I think they know what to do from what they have seen and how we have been working. It will be a very big motivation, and it's a factor which we have to even protect ourselves as a reputation. But knowing also Ivory Coast will come in strong because of the past game. I think we haven't faced them since 2012, so I think they have that revenge. But we have to work hard, prepare well, and do our best.
All right, so that was our local captain, Chapeshi. Now, Lameck Chapeshi said one thing, that our defense is leaking a lot of goals, is allowing a lot of goals. What should we do at this point, Lameck? We don't need to concede goals this time around.
You know, playing such high profile games requires a team to work together. Over the years, we have been building a team. Over the years where we've missed the AFCONs, we have been building a team. We have over 50, 60 players that have featured for the national team. But this is a time for consistency now. It may not all be rosy when we play our first game. It may not, it's not going to be rosy when we play our first game. But we just need to trust the boys. You understand? We need to trust the boys that they know what they are doing and they'll deliver for us. And for expectations, let's just have a positive expectation from the team. Let's not rule out our chances of beating Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is a beatable team. We can go to Ivory Coast and beat the team. It's a possibility. Anything can happen in football. And when we go back to our defense, I was impressed with the friendlies that Zambia played when Frankie was brought in, and then we have Dominic there, Dominic Chanda, who's been really solid at the back. We also have Aime Marika, who's been very solid at the back. I think for me, I'm just leaving it to the coach. He knows his players, he knows what he has to do, and I was happy to see that our boys are now able to play from the back. That gives us more stability when we're playing, and when we're defending, we have players that we can rely on to help us defend.
Okay, so which international players do you think the coach will bring in?
With international players, we await for Aime Mabika, who's been really solid for Inter Miami in the second round of their league. We also have Frankie, who's been really solid for his Red Rovers side. We also have Patson Daka, who's had, for me, he's had he has a good season. Scoring 10 goals, 10, 11 goals in your first season in the EPL.
Yeah.
For me, it's a huge achievement. I can continue advising Patson Daga to continue doing what he's doing. He's getting to adapt. The coaches know that he's getting to adapt in the league. We have Fashion Sakala, who scored 12 goals. The goal retention rate of our boys is very good. Scoring 10 goals, 12 goals in a new league is not an easy feat. That just shows the hunger that they have. I need to see more of Patson Daka, and he's giving us more. He was on a 12 game. He did not score in 12 games, but he managed to score the other weekend. And coming into the qualifiers, I think he's motivated enough. He knows he can come to the national team and rejuvenate his form. Looking at the coming season, it will be preparation for him for the coming season. But Enoch Mwepu, who's a doubt because he's been struggling with an injury, and he's missed the final games of. He's set to miss the weekend's games of the EPL because he missed I think the last two games for Brighton due to an injury that he picked up. If we can get Enoch Mwepu fit by the time we start playing our qualifiers, we have a solid team to take us to the AFCON.
Okay, so should we dump people like Kabaso Chongo who have been playing for us?
No, we can't dump players such as Kawaso Chongo. It's not possible. These are players that we can always call, we can always rely on. But Football has its own regulations. There are only about 20, 23 players can be called per match day. You understand? And unfortunately, the team cannot accommodate everyone, but we are not discarding them. There are players that we will call when we need them to play. Unfortunately, at this time, I feel maybe the coach may not need their services today, but there are players that are important to us. There are players who are important to us. Tandy Mwape is important to the team. Kawazo Chongo is important to the team. You know, every player who's playing locally or internationally is important to the team. It's just that it's not yet time for them to be given that call up. But when the time comes, they should be ready. That's how football is. You may not be called today, but tomorrow you are called. You should be ready to feature when you are called.
Yeah. So if you're joining us, you're watching Ubuntu Sports. Uh, we had advertised or had said that we'll bring in Isaac Chansa. Unfortunately, due to uh, technicalities, we were unable to bring Isaac Chansa at this point. So the discussion tonight, we are talking about Africa, the AFCON qualifiers. Can Zambia make it this time? What are the chances for Zambia to make it? What can we do for us to qualify? Now, Lameck, you said one of the players that the coach should bring in is Fashion Sakala. Now, he was quoted in some parts of some media that he was saying that there is some group of people within the country that are trying to bring him down. What can you say over that, Lameck?
You know,
Quite interesting story.
yeah, it's quite an interesting story. But for me, I feel those are. For me, I feel it was a careless statement. Firstly, from him, I know it's important to. I'm not one who plays down to blackmail. You know, I always stand by the fact that if somebody wants to blackmail you, never take that route. If somebody wants to extort money from you for a favor or something, never go down that route. But for fashion, I feel if he was facing those problems of people wanting to get money so that they can paint a positive image for him, that's not how football works. Football works, it's you playing on the ground. It's the coach who picks you because of what you're doing in training. You understand? This is what it is. And for now, what he has done, he's put everyone in one basket, journalists and the Zambian media in one basket, where people will now question the credibility of the people that write about Zambian football, journalists and non-journalists. You understand? People will question the credibility and will question if you write about Fashion Sakala, oh, it was a positive story. Probably that Uyonari Amo, he's been given something. That's why he's writing something positive. If you write
Yeah,
some, in Zambia we don't criticize our players. This is one thing that we as Zambian always fail to do. We are always praising our players. For me, that's how I feel. But Fashion Sakala is one player who has been praised for the longest of time. Patson Daka, his compatriot Patson Daka has been criticized left, right, and center throughout his career. Even today, when he's playing for Leicester City, he's being criticized. For fashion, he hasn't been given that criticism. He says there's a negative, stories that are being published about him, a campaign on social media. Where is the campaign? Me, I'm actively on Twitter. I'm active on Facebook. I'm active. I follow some of the biggest sports media, pages and websites. I've never seen a page or a website publishing a negative story about how Fashion Sakala's form, because he's been in good form this season. And for me, I feel it was a careless statement. And the Western media always looks for a chance to take a jab at us. You understand? Us as Africans. Look at what ESPN has done to Gianni Sikazo today. These are examples that these boys should look at in the long run. If he is having those problems, the best thing would have done, once he sees somebody trying to do that, report him to the authorities. The authorities would deal with him. And like going to the Western media and dealing with a careless, letting out a careless statement. For me, I have no kind words, but I feel it was a careless statement. There could have been better ways to deal with that, and the best would have been, taking those issues to the authorities. Those are serious offenses. If we have journalism bodies and other bodies, they need to put in, to push this guy to tell us names of the people that are denting the journalism profession. You understand? He needs to mention people, because you can't just wake up today and mention people. No, this guy was trying to do, and putting people in one basket. Even because people even who are credible will now be, people will suspect anything. If you write anything about fashion today, oh, Nadiam, tomorrow we Nadiam. Just like that. That's how, people won't get to trust, other people who have a very good track record. But because of statements like yours, it will be very difficult to now wake around fashion, because it's always difficult to wake in such an environment.
Lameck, for me, it was a surprise because I thought most of the Zambians were actually sympathizing with him after the loss in the Europa final. I saw most of the photos that came out from the bloggers. People were actually sympathizing with him that he was brought in as a substitute, and before the penalty shootout, he was also removed, and the person actually that replaced him is the one that actually missed the penalty. And
you know,
reading about the story, I was shocked.
but okay. For me, I don't, I don't condemn him letting out what has been happening. I'm not in his shoes. I cannot judge him for what he said or anything. For me, what I'm against is letting out a statement, such a big statement. You understand? Because it's a big statement. People need to understand this, that it is a big statement that threatens the credibility of what of the journalism profession, of the sports journalists that are doing journalism in Zambia. Because now people that are in the outside, when they see popular big companies writing about the progress of maybe local players, you write something positive about a local player doing good things in the local league, people will now see, oh, maybe these guys have been given a cut. That's why they are promoting this guy. These are allegations that have been there for a long time. If players today were to review what goes on in their inboxes, you understand, football would have been a mess today. But you always choose diplomacy in how you deal with these issues. It's not everything you just go and bring out statement on the media and like that. But there are better ways in issues, how issues can be done. He has a management team. You know, if he had those issues, let the management team handle those people who are trying to get money from him. Maybe he could have felt that it was the only way he could have voiced himself out and all of that. But for me, I was disappointed because the statement for me was just a careless statement.
Yeah, because it's very tricky now for us to cover him, Lameck.
Yeah,
It's very
whoever will
difficult
write
for us.
about any player, people write a lot about players. We have Osias Wilimba, who's been doing a lot of good work in the league. He was dropped by the coach. He wasn't picked by the national team coach for the very same AFCON coming qualifiers. We have a lot of people who are writing about his progress and what he has been doing in the league, emphasizing that the coach needed to put him in. People who overemphasize may be looked at as though they have been bribed to do what? To push that agenda on the media to create a social media backlash against the coach because he hasn't picked a well-performing player in the league. These are the results, you know. And this is the direction these stories may take. There are popular people who are supporting him and all of that, but we have different angles at how we look at things. It's a good move. When somebody wants to blackmail you, extort you, you know, bring it out. Even report to the police or anything like that. But when it comes to football, there are other channels in which people can be dealt with in respective manners without basically, denting the journalism profession of the whole country and Africa at large at the end of the day.
Uh, let's talk about Mwepu. Now Mwepu has had also a first season in England with Brighton. Uh, Unfortunately for him, he's faced a lot of injuries, and uh, even as of today, he has an injury. Uh, is he going to be ready for the first encounter with Ivory Coast?
There are a lot of positives in the progress of Enoch Mwepu regarding regards to his injury. He recently started light training and all of that. So we just hope that by the time we play our qualifiers, he may be available because he's the national team captain now. We hope that he may be available to play part of that game. But there are a lot of positives in his progress and his story. Yes, it may be rocked. He may be rocked by injuries throughout the season, but what we need is to continue supporting him. He's a strong lad. He'll get through this. It's a patch in the in his way. It's just another header in his way. What he needs is just our continuous support. I know the club is supporting him to the best of their abilities. They're doing the best to ensure that he is fit because they know, and for them to invest all that money in him, they trust him and they believe in him, and they are pushing so hard to have him available because every time he's gone onto the field of play for Brighton, he's been he's been one of their best players. So what we need is just to continue supporting him. He will be fine. He's a strong lad.
Lameck, we've changed coaches over the period of time, and Mwepu was our captain. Should we maintain Mwepu, or should we should drop him? Maybe choose another one.
No. The coach clearly indicated that Mwepu is the national team captain now. You know, he is the national team captain.
And if imagine putting yourself, you are in Asanovic's shoes. You've seen your friend come and go. The Mitchell, they came, they left. Uh, he's going into the qualifiers. The seat is very hot. If we don't
Yeah,
make it to the AFCON, do you think he will survive?
that's a really tricky question. So, one thing is this: Rome was not built in one day. That's one thing. We are coming from a rough patch. Look at the players that we've been changing over the last 5 years. We've been having different players at almost every engagement. We are seeing new players. What we need to do is give the coach time. You understand? He has a 4-year performance-based contract. Let's give him time to build a team, to instill his philosophy in that team. Yes, it's a possibility. We may not qualify to the AFCON. It's a possibility. You understand? It's possible. But what would be the reaction to that? Do we let go of the coach? We've been letting go of coaches from way back. For this one, let's give him a chance. Let's give him a try because for me the team now looks really good. We have a really good team now. So what we need to do is give these boys time, they'll start ticking. Zambia will go back to its glory days as our elders would watch in the 90s, 80s, and all of that.
The Independence Stadium.
We can get back to that level. What we just need is a lot of patience and support to the team and the coach. The coach wants us to be patient with him and to be positive and trust the boys and trust him. This is what we should do. Let's just give them the trust. Let's just be positive and results will come. With time, results will come. They may not come today, but results will come. But Zambians today want the AFCON. And at some point it may feel that asking for patience from Zambians if we fail to qualify to the AFCON, it may be too much to ask. But for me, it would be the only option.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think the technical team needs beefs up, or you're okay with the way it is now, the composition of the
Yeah,
technical
the team for me, the team is okay. We have a goalkeeper trainer, we have a video analyst, we have a physical trainer, we have the head coach, we have the assistant coach, we have local coaches who are being attached to the team. For me, the bench is okay.
All right. Let's hear what the coach had to say concerning the qualifiers.
Uh, yes, this is the first day for local camps. I'm so happy to see again our players. Really, we are enjoying the time. It's the first day. We are trying to refresh a little bit our players after the Zambian champion, and I'm so happy about that. Of course, this player he deserves it in the camp. Be with us the part of the Afghan teams, and I saw so many before. I saw so many quality on the local players, and we are continue work together and see what's happened. Always we are looking the quality, quality. We are looking the speed, the skill, everything, the character, and don't worry. In that 22 players, we have the quality, we have the everything. This is not finally the list, but this is my decision today, and we'll see what's to happen in future. Don't look. Be positive. This is the only way in this country. Boys, the Zambian people, please be positive about everything. The government is doing everything. Is really push to give the paper to find a solution for the both guy, even for the another guys. But please again, be positive, because we are needed just positive. We are going together, and I'm sure with you, also with you, because you are the most important people also in Zambia. Give to this guy good note, positive note for everybody. It shows really see who is coming, who is not, who is injured. There's many challenge. On the football, when you start thinking everything is good, sometimes it's going something in another way. But so optimistic, and we are going to the same way. It is the only way to be together. The local guys, because I saw even today you see how it is a professional. You see how it is want to be part of the Afghan teams. You know that. This is what I want. Also, you want that also.
Lameck, the coach is saying we should believe, we should believe, we should believe. He's confident that we are this time around we're making it to the AFCON.
Yeah, it's just all about the belief. Once we believe, we'll get there. Once we rally behind the boys, we'll get there. AFCON is an achievable dream. We will achieve. We just need to believe, be positive, and continue supporting the team. That's the only thing we need to do as at now.
Thanks. Do we have the comments? What are the people saying? What are the viewers saying? So, Bamford is saying tickets need to be reduced to 20 quarter to attract more fans. More fans, more money. I thought there are standards for you to host an international game. Lameck.
Yeah, standards are there, but we just urge all football loving Zambians to come in numbers, support the boys, and home games in these qualifiers. Home games will be the most important. Support the boys as much as possible so that they may win their 3 home games and fight for a win away, 1 win away, and maybe 1 draw away. Then we'll be good to go to AFCON.
Now, Pace is saying, for me, Mwepu has done well compared to the contingent of the Zambian players in UK. The other two have done all right, my opinion.
Yeah,
Saying
Mwepu has
Mwepu has
done
done
well, but he's been rocked by injuries. His time in the UK has been rocked by injuries, in and out, and all of that. And he himself knows that the season he had hasn't been the best, but he knows that he will have the best if he manages to stay injury free.
All right. Do you have any other comment? Don't you think it depends on the positions again? Uh, I don't know exactly what Jeremiah is trying to say there. If you have been changing coaches and still no improvement, what's next? Keep one. Give them a long-term contract so that he can build a powerhouse. Moreover, we just blame coaches for getting some players are indisciplined. He's saying we should give.
Yeah, it's a honest opinion.
Yeah, it is. Uh, basically saying not really. I think he'll not stay long in Brighton. Very soon, the big clubs will go for him. I'm sure he's talking about Mwepu because already there are
Yeah,
some
yeah.
rumors. Brighton and sorry, Dortmund and Man City are one. They are looking for his signature.
Those just treat them as rumors. They're just rumors.
It's possible, Lameck. This is football.
Yeah, but nothing, nothing concrete. They're just rumors. So we treat them as rumors as they are.
Yeah. And by the way, we say congratulations to Mwepu. He won as he won a prize as for scoring a best goal for his club, and that goal came against Liverpool. Lameck.
Yeah, his dream club. He's been a Liverpool supporter for the longest of time. It's like his prayers are being answered. So very soon we may in the coming seasons we may see Mwepu at Liverpool. It's a possibility as long as he continues performing well and stays injury free. It's a possibility.
All right, Lameck, this was just a beginning of the build up to the qualifiers. Next week, we're going to be full throttle in terms of the qualifiers. So I just wanted us just to start with this. And to our viewers, again, we say sorry for not bringing Isaac Chansa. This was due to the technicalities that we had. But we promise you that one day we'll conduct Mr. Isaac Chansa and he will appear on this program on Ubuntu Sports. But next week, Lameck, we need to come back and talk more about the qualifiers. We need to build up because
Yeah,
that will be the
we will definitely be back. We'll
yeah.
definitely be back to talk more about the qualifiers and what is happening in the off season.
Indeed, your closing remarks, Lameck, as we go.
I think we've had a very good season in the ZSL. That was number one. In as much as we had lesser goals compared to the previous seasons, but it was a good season. And our players in Europe have fared really, really well. And there are a lot of positives because we have more young boys that are being pushed to Europe. We just need to have more players in Europe playing in the best academies, in the best clubs, and we'll once again become a big powerhouse of the continent again. And for the fans, I think let's just continue supporting our boys, and you know, there's a lot more to come for Zambian football. There's a huge space for growth, and a lot more to come for Zambian football.
Thanks, Lameck, for that, and thank you that you're always here on Ubuntu talking Zambian football. To all our viewers, this is where we end this week's edition of Ubuntu Sports. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your comments. If you're joining us for the first time, please make sure you like the page. Uh, you can also follow us on Twitter, and you can also follow us on YouTube on Ubuntu channel. It's good night and God bless. Remember to keep it Ubuntu channel always.